How's it going, everyone? My name is TheStarkz, and welcome to a brand new The Last of Us Part 2 Factions video, or The Last of Us 2 Factions, whatever we're going to call factions going forward for the future videos and just in general. Today I have some really interesting news to share, which is some leaks about The Last of Us Part 2's multiplayer. So I'm reading off of the article called Inverse.com, and without further delay, it states that The Last of Us Part 2 was released to critical acclaim in June, but a seemingly major part of the experience was missing: the multiplayer factions game mode, which was separated from the base game with the intent of making it a standalone title at some point in the future. A leaked video showing what appears to be The Last of Us 2 Factions gameplay has been making the rounds on the internet Thursday, and while elements of what's probably an early build look a bit janky, the full package seems promising. Now, to secure the integrity of the leaks, as well as the integrity of myself here on this channel, and in an attempt not to get any of my videos taken down, I will not be showing any new gameplay footage nor screenshots involving The Last of Us Part 2 Factions leaks, because I don't want any of my content being taken down for the sake of showing you guys these screenshots and stuff. However, I'll link as much stuff that I can to the footage. That way my channel isn't directly involved with these leaks and those who've put them out on the internet. However, let's continue on the article here. It states, what was leaked? On August 5th, a day ago from this recording, YouTube account The Irish Lizard posted a 12-second gameplay video of what appears to be Factions multiplayer. The user claims this footage was part of the more substantial April leak for The Last of Us Part 2. At the time, this footage was mostly overlooked as everyone focused more on the narrative spoilers included in the leak, and because Naughty Dog had most instances of it scrubbed from YouTube, it was mostly forgotten. It has since gained second life through the resurfacing, and it gives us a better idea of what to expect from the eventual release. In the brief footage, we see a couple of characters who fight each other in a map that takes place in an abandoned neighborhood covered in snow. Two players take down a player from the opposing team. With the footage follows getting a kill assist bonus. The footage also briefly shows a crafting and inventory system that appears nearly identical to the base game. Overall, this footage looks quite like normal The Last of Us Part 2 gameplay, with the major differences being the mini-map and obviously the 5 versus 5 PvP setup of the match. It is definitely the natural evolution of the first game's underrated multiplayer mode. Now, the rest of the article goes on to explain what is Factions, which obviously, if you're not aware, The Last of Us Factions is essentially the multiplayer component. Back in late 2019, however, Naughty Dog did announce that The Last of Us Factions will not be coming with The Last of Us Part 2 because the scope of its game became way too ambitious, and they announced almost like a standalone project for the game. Now, the clip in which this article addresses is the one that was leaked back in April, which is what this article was pinning for. However, which I have seen since then, but most of those videos have been taken down. And again, I'm not going to be showing any of this footage because I don't want any of my videos taken down for the sake of just showing you guys footage of new content that's not supposed to be up running. I want to secure the integrity of Naughty Dog and Sony on that part. I don't want to get in trouble legally or anything like that. But the footage, from what I can describe, is really on par with what this article states. It was a 5 versus 5 mode. I saw someone get downed. I saw an assist bonus. It looked like the map Coal Mine. It looked like it was Coal Mine or Lakeside. It was one of those two maps. It did look like Coal Mine, but now that I'm thinking about it, when I remember, I think it was more Lakeside, or possibly it looked, I mean, The Last of Us had a snow portion, The Last of Us Part 2 that is, so it might have been a new map in its entirety, but it did look like Lakeside, which I wouldn't be surprised because, I mean, if we're getting maps which we've already had in the first game, that would be cool, but who knows at this point. I'm not going to speculate on that front. However, there was new content shown recently. There was a few images, screenshots, which, again, I'm not going to show for the sake of securing the integrity of Sony and Naughty Dog, as well as my own channel here. But I also saw some gameplay footage, which showed a person downing his own teammate. And it also seemed to suggest a co-op mode, which I'm going to do a whole breakdown video on. Now, I know it's going to be hard for me to do a breakdown video because I can't show the footage directly, but basically I saw someone down his own teammate, and then they went through the map. It looked like they respawned, and then there was like a mini split second where I saw like, I think it was 6. I think it was 9 characters, like faces, 9 characters. I don't know what they were, but maybe they were enemy types, maybe people we have to look after and whatnot. And then there was like Expedition Day 1, which is really, really interesting. And then I saw like a loading screen with which looked like some PlayStation Network name tags, like, you know, the typical Naughty Dog and then focus test or whatever they have as QA. But this multiplayer is being worked on currently, and it's coming sooner than, or probably not as soon as I thought, but definitely it's coming. My speculation for this multiplayer mode is it's going to be a PlayStation 5 title. I don't know if it's going to be a launch title, but I think it's going to be a PlayStation exclusive PlayStation 5 title for the PlayStation 5. And I think that would be very freaking smart of Sony and Naughty Dog to do, because I think, you know, as a person like myself who's a little skeptical about getting the PlayStation 5 at launch, I mean, hell, if factions were to come with the PlayStation 5 at launch, I'm getting it day 1 because I want to play that multiplayer component. It sucks because I don't think Naughty Dog or Sony in particular shouldn't split the community like that, especially for folks who can't buy a PlayStation 4. But marketing wise, I think strategically and financially, it's the best decision Sony could do, because I don't think a lot of people are going to be buying the PlayStation 5 regardless day 1. I know I'm not, unless there's a miracle like Factions happens. It really depends on the launch titles and all the features. We haven't really seen the user interface for the PlayStation 5, so it has to be promising. And if it is, I'll get the PlayStation 5. But this multiplayer, The Last of Us Part 2's, or The Last of Us 2 Factions, or whatever we're going to call it, it looks promising. And I think there's a lot of things that I'm really excited for. I can't wait to really make like a scripted video regarding Factions. I have one that I'm going to be working on soon. I don't know when that's going to come up, but I'm really damn excited to see where Naughty Dog takes The Last of Us Factions. You know, are they going to do a battle royale mode? Are they going to include co-op, which I think they definitely are. It seems that this game is going to include 5 versus 5 rather than 4 versus 4. I thought the 4 versus 4 mode was a little confusing. You know, Naughty Dog typically does, I'm pretty sure, 5 versus 5 with all their Uncharted multiplayers. I'm talking Uncharted 2, 3, and 4, as well as Lost Legacy, which is basically just a recycled Uncharted 4 multiplayer with some new skins and whatnot. But I was very confused when Naughty Dog introduced a 4 versus 4 mode. I'm like, what is this? This is very new. And I think it works perfectly in The Last of Us Factions. But for Factions 2, I'm really intrigued to see how they include this 5 versus 5 mode. A lot of the times, you know, you have a bunch of friends and you have one extra player, but that you can't play with because it's a 4 versus 4 PvP or PvP mode, which forces you to go in like a private lobby. But I really like the change and have, you know, and Naughty Dog having this 5 versus 5 mode. And that's not official. None of what I'm saying here is official. This is just from what I've seen and from what the article is suggesting, or stating, I guess, in this case, because I have seen the leaks myself and this is what I've seen as well. But anything is subject to change, so remember that. But let me know in the comment section below, do you think that The Last of Us Factions 2 or The Last of Us 2 Factions is going to stay with this 5 versus 5 mode? Will it go back to its traditional 4 versus 4 mode? Do you think there'll be some co-op? Do you think Battle Royale will be introduced? I'm really excited to see how Battle Royale is implemented, if Naughty Dog does implement that, which I think would be a freaking amazing move on their part. I think a lot of people love Battle Royales, and it'll just bring a lot of money and a lot of new players. As well as, do you think that The Last of Us Factions 2 will be a PlayStation 5 only title? And if so, why do you think that? Let me know in the comment section below. And before I end off this video, I just want to say I am hugely sorry for not uploading a video in over a month since my review of The Last of Us Part 2. If you haven't seen it yet, I will link the video to that in the description below for you to for your consideration. It's been a very difficult month and a few weeks for me lately, so I needed the time to kind of reflect on life, reflect on myself and everything that I'm doing in life. So I apologize for that. I'm going to try and keep my uploads a little bit more consistent going forward. I'm hugely excited for this Factions 2 leak stuff. I'm really excited to just, you make a bunch of theories regarding the game, as well as go back to The Last of Us Part 2 and make some videos on that as well. So thank you a lot for watching. Of course, the article for this, the article that I use in this video will be left in the description below for you to read on your own if you're interested. With that being said, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you liked what you saw here. And with that being said, I am TheStarkz. Peace.